Greetings, YouTube. Today we're talking about a marbles knife. Now, I never actually owned a marbles blade before, so I bought two of them. And I'm going to talk about both of them today, in fact. And here we go, the package it came in. It came with this sheath on the blade itself. And we have the MR80103. And it actually says Made in America, so I'm curious if these are actually made in America or not. Marbles since 1892. Let's get that out of the way. And I picked this up because I saw a video online showing it off. It was kind of the marbles version of a bushcraft knife. So here it comes in the sheath itself. It's a fairly simple, inexpensive sheath. Nothing to be right home about. The belt loop is functional, but nothing all that fancy. I do like the fact that it is a snap closure and not a Velcro closure. I find I like that those a whole lot better. I like the fact that it is deep, so that if you're carrying this on your belt and you're moving through the brush, this is going to protect the blade and the handle, which is nice. I kind of like that feature. This is a rubberized grip. Because of that, even though it's deep, if I come like this, my thumb, I can pull that out with my pinky, and I'm already in the deployment position. And it's thicker in there. There's a so it's not truly lined, but it's fairly thick. So it actually is affording you some protection. And I kind of like the marbles words embroidery on that's what the word I'm looking for. So here you go. Here we go with the kind of a hunt vibe in here. You have a dog here and what looks like a hare here. The marbles logo there, and on the opposite on this side, and then we have the marbles USA right there, and this side is blank. It has a rubberized grip. It has a single pass-through for a lanyard, brass line, which is nice, and you can get a piece of paracord through there without any difficulty whatsoever, and it would make getting it out of the sheath even more convenient if you had that. Though the disadvantage of a lanyard, if it's hanging down, if it's long enough to actually get your wrist through, you have a problem of snagging it. But if it's a short piece, just designed there to help, a short one like this, I don't think that's going to be a problem. I liked about this, one of the things I liked about it is it was thin. It wasn't hugely thick. So I don't have huge hands, and I really don't like knives that are really, really thick. And that really fits my hand very well. It's not full tang, but it feels like it's coming down like 3/4. It really does. It's got a nice heft to it. So I'm not actually sure how far it comes down, but I'd figure it's probably a 3/4 inch tang on this. And I think that for a bushcraft knife, well, the whole tang is nice. I don't think it's necessary because you're not going to be using this for a huge amount of heavy-duty chopping. To my mind, you're not using this for batoning. You're using this for general around the camp preparation, making fire sticks and cutting up food prep, things like that. So here you have this kind of a classic design. It has a nice bit of belly here. It has a swedge here, which was actually quite aggressive. It has almost a tactical vibe going on there. So if you needed to do some piercing, it's very thick. So it's not going, this tip is not going to break. And I really like the fact that this flat is all the way out to there. It doesn't really taper till it almost gets to the secondary bevel. This is a flat grind here, though there are hollows here. These are not part of the edge itself. Then you have a secondary bevel down here. Again, it fits like this. You come in like this. I would not recommend choking up on that because that is actually sharp. That would not be good. So one of the things that attracted me were these hollows. I like this because this will let you get in there and do some very good control. So say if you wanted to drill to make a spoon or a bowl, this would let you get that started. You could also use it like this for close skinning tasks. Get right in there and do some delicate work. So I really liked that. Right, I think it afforded a great deal of control because I can hold this. It's got a nice hollow. My fingers are not in danger of slipping onto the blade, onto the edge. On the blade, sorry, onto the edge. And I really like the way that is. This edge here is not sharp, but it is a 90 degrees. I did not try this with a ferrocerium rod, so to see how well it works. But if you wanted it to do that, you could probably sharpen that up without any difficulty. Now, this is a budget knife. I think I paid in the $30 range for this, something like that. And you can tell here, this is the stamp mark. This is where the metal was stamped, right here. And you can see, you may be able to see the edge grind is not perfectly even in the tip. I don't know if you can see that or not. I don't. But you can see that this was when the machine was stamped, this is the edge, and they didn't clean it up a whole lot. They made sure it wasn't sharp, and again, it isn't sharp, but they didn't do much else beyond that. And I can understand why they didn't, because this is a budget knife. But the surfaces that they did machine, this flat here, this here, and here have a nice finish. This is a little rougher in here than these two surfaces here. And the grind itself is not perfect, again, because it's not perfect at the tip. But overall, if you look at it from, if you could look on it edgewise this way, the way I am at the moment, it looks pretty good. It came out of the box usably sharp. This is not shaving sharp by any stretch of the imagination, and you can probably see you may be able to see there are striations on the edge. It's not a mirror edge at all. That could do for a little improvement. If you were going to take this to the field, you might want to hone that up a bit more until you had a better mirror finish. But as a bushcraft knife, particularly for someone that isn't into this or just getting into it, I should say, it isn't into it as a full-time thing, it's just a light hobby, or you're looking for something you can dump into a bug out bag, this might be a nice choice, particularly if you're looking for a knife that isn't too thick, but because it's rubberized, is going to afford you a solid grip. This is not going to fall out of your hands in any way, shape, or form, and it's going to also do well when it's wet, because this is rubber here, actually proper rubber. So I really liked this design. I thought it was a good idea. I think it gets into the Silscandi Mura knife, or Murica knife, I guess that's the proper way to say it, vibe as well, but it's heavier, and it's in theory made in USA, I guess. It says on the blade it's made in US, and I can't find anything in the packaging that says it's made in China, so I'm not 100% sure. But the sheath is decent, not the best. I like that it's got the snap closure. So overall, a good budget entry-level knife in my opinion. Not going to be set any world records for quality for the price point, nor is it going to be something that you may want to be doing if you're more advanced bushcrafting. But for the starter, or for someone that's looking for something just that use camping on the weekends once in a while, this may be a knife that you could use. I really, really quite like this this Marbles blade.